What's up, you guys? I actually wasn't going to do a reading today. I took a break for the past week because of the lunar eclipse, solar eclipse season that we're going through right now. And I just felt like I needed to go within and do some shadow work and kind of recalibrate my own energies. And of course, as I was in the midst of doing so, we had a lot of things happen in the media and collectively. And so there's a lot happening right now on the micro and on the macro, okay? So in your own personal life, before, shit hit the fan, and yes, I'm not going to even monetize this video because I'm going to be cussing because I really don't give a fuck. I'm just kind of like coming to you through the fourth wall. We're breaking down the dimensions today. We're kind of starting a series called the Phoenix Era, okay? Okay, so during the week, earlier in the week, you might have noticed like you felt this nudge inside of yourself to change. It's like this eclipse season forced you to look at something that you were in denial about, okay? Whether it was a relationship dynamic, somebody you need to cut off of your life, somebody who is codependent to you. A lot of themes of codependency have been coming up to the surface. Also could be like codependency to substances or shopping or what have you, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you were forced into a situation. It's like you couldn't take it anymore. I'm also hearing it could have been, let's say a health scare or, something happened with someone you cared about and, maybe someone was, trying to push you over, for example, and try to get their way with you all the time. Always used you as a resource, it could have been, and, they got themselves into, let's say, a dangerous situation. I'm saying, it's codependency energies, right, where if you don't change it, if you don't change yourself or the dynamics and situations, the universe will come in during eclipse season and force you to change, right? So that's what I'm saying. I took this time to just not even entertain or barely go outside kind of thing. Saturn's actually currently going through my fourth house, so I'm very much in recluse mode, okay? So you might have noticed a lot of emotional purging at this time period where maybe even listening to old music or whatever, and it triggers something inside of you that's nostalgic, and then you started to cry or something, just a lot of emotions coming up to the surface because you know that an old version of you is no more. As much as you try to cling on to the illusion of this facade, this illusion that you were living with dynamics, peoples, or the physical world, the tangible material things, it just feels as much as you try to grasp onto it, it was out of your grips. And so it has been definitely a time period where we're releasing, okay? And so through the week, of course, we had big collective things happen over here in the US, with the whole Charlie Kirk thing, okay? I'm not going to get into politics, but I will say this, they want us to fight and they want us to keep reliving history because Pluto is currently in, Pluto is currently in Aquarius, and the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during the American Revolution, okay? And the French Revolution. And so, of course, it's coming back around, and revolution energy is in the air, but the thing is that there's two different sides of the coin. There are people who want war, and there are people who want peace, okay? And so it's very important, and it's very imperative to detach from the warmongering bullshit, okay? So this is a time period of radical acceptance of where you are in your own journey and to not get distracted into the collective consciousness, because when it comes down to it, we are all collectively one organism. And I do want to touch base on my ayahuasca experience that I had years ago. During my ayahuasca experience, and if you've ever done ayahuasca, it is a plant medicine. And it breaks down the barriers of illusion and perception. And in the physical 3D, we're all collectively, we feel like we're separate. But whenever you are in a heightened state, in a consciousness, you see that we're actually collectively one organism, right? So let's say in Christianity, they call it the body of Christ. It's literally we are literally the body of Christ. It's Christ consciousness. It's like a bunch of tiny cells that feel like they're individuals, but if you zoom out, they're actually one organism. And it's like a schizophrenic that doesn't know that it's schizophrenic, right? And so they're all living their own like individual lives. So yeah, that's something that was revealed to me through ayahuasca, is that like it's the separateness that causes the schism in our collective consciousness. And it's very imperative to not view each other as separate, because we are one organism. And the more that we're feeding into the, the drama that they want us to feed into, it's like it's causing a snowball effect, right? Because what everybody focuses on is what's going to be created. So if a large majority of us decide to focus on love and peace and our own personal families and our own personal communities and how we can be a positive influence on the people that we love and who is around us and the things that we actually have control over, right? Because a lot of times these kinds of situations make you feel like your life's out of control. Like, how can I help? Like, there's this energy of like that patriotic spirit, for example, where you're like, I want to get involved. It's like, well, if you want to get involved, just like focus on being love, period. Like this is that simple. Okay. So let me go ahead and get started about your personal, like right now, day-to-day life. So we do have coming through literally the Phoenix Rising card. Okay, so the Phoenix Rising card coming through, this represents you dying to yourself. And the Phoenix energy is romanticized a lot in spiritual concepts. But the truth of the Phoenix, okay, I want to tell you a prophetic dream that I had. It was about a month ago. And now that everything's coming full circle with this eclipse season, I am seeing that it is a prophetic dream for the collective, okay? So in the dream that I had, there was like these women, and they were trying to like escape persecution. They were like witches or something. And like to escape these men, like these women were escaping the men. So right now as I'm talking, I'm channeling, I'm seeing this fight between the masculine and feminine, okay? And so the feminine is running away from the masculine and trying to escape, okay? And as they were jumping in the air, that's what they were doing, trying to escape. So as I'm talking about this is representing that escapism, okay? Saturn being currently in Pisces. We have the South Node in Pisces. We just had the lunar eclipse in Pisces. So it's all about past energy and ancestral energy, okay? What we're trying to get away from, okay? And so one of the women got caught. She got caught, and like these men, they strapped her down on this altar and they caught her on fire. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching her and I'm thinking like, how are her organs going to survive this? Like I was thinking about like, like the fire's going to consume her. Her organs aren't even going to make it. And as I'm saying this, she tilts her head over to me and like her face is charred and she has embers inside of her. And I mean, like it's pretty graphic. And she is repeating to herself. She's saying over and over again, I am the fire. I am the fire. Okay. And so what this represents is that whenever we're finally pushed to our absolute limit and we decide, okay, I'm going to step into my willpower, because when it comes down to it, it's all about our choices, right? And you can either let the fire consume you and kill you and, just get to a point where it's like, you hit that dead end and like I said, like the universe comes in and has to rip everything away from you, or you can take the power back and make the decision for yourself to change, right? It's all about your willpower, okay? What you're focusing on and what your willpower is and what you're giving control to, okay? So in the dream, in order for her to overcome the fire and not let the fire kill her and dismantle her, like she was telling herself, I am the fire. She was becoming one with the pain, one with the suffering, allowing herself to feel the suffering regardless of how agonizing it was, right? And like I was just amazed, like she didn't die, and it was so graphic, like it was just like her face was charred and everything. But anyways, like that's what the Phoenix Rising really represents. It represents allowing yourself to be consumed by the thing that makes you so fucking uncomfortable, and it's like, well damn it, I'm gonna fucking do this shit, right? And like as you do this, it's like this is what makes you stronger. It's the human willpower is like the testament of strength. And you never know how strong you are until you force yourself to look at the demons, to look at the thing that you're running away from, right? So right now, the collective as a whole is running away from itself. And this is a time of radical acceptance and understanding that it's like, you have a room full of 5 people and everyone's pointing at each other and they're like, you're the bad guy, you're the killer. But really, like all the fingers are actually pointing back to you, because we're all collectively one consciousness, right? And so that's kind of, I don't know if that makes sense to you. If you understand, you understand. But anyways, so Phoenix Rising energy, dying to yourself, allowing yourself to feel the shit. This is what you went through recently, okay? If you found this message. And look, boo, like, this is a time period where, like, you're starting to realize in order to get to heaven, you're going to have to go through hell, okay? It is said that a tree's branches can only reach up so high as deep as its roots reach below, okay? And so this has been a time period where, like, your roots, like, you're digging deep into yourself, right? And the more you're doing the shadow work, allowing yourself to just fucking purge this bullshit that's been harboring over you for the past few years is what I'm hearing, okay? So you're allowing yourself to finally, like, sit with yourself this season, okay? Being brutally honest with yourself, right? This is a time period of being brutally honest, and the illusion, the facades, you know, it's being lifted. So we also have coming through, we have Alchemy. Okay, so Alchemy coming through is, look, even in her right here, she has a cauldron and it has fire on it, okay? So again, more fire elements are coming through in this message, a lot of purging energies. So alchemy represents taking something and transforming it, transmuting it, okay? And so it's like, okay, you have this like barrier, right? And like right above the barrier is the paradise. You have to go through the pain in order to get to the paradise. And there's this stupid fucking like bullshit manifestation bullshit. Like, I know I'm cussing a lot. I'm just like so sick and tired of like, oh, you could just manifest an instant. Oh, you can already be there. Like, you already, you know, no. You have to fucking go through the spiritual warfare. You have to push through hell to get to the next level, okay? It's like pushing past resistance. It's kind of like, you know, working out. It's not fucking easy in the beginning, but like the more that you're doing it, like the easier it starts to get. Like I said, willpower. You just have to like push past the resistance. And that's what the alchemy energy is coming through saying. It's saying that like your human willpower is a lot stronger than you thought it was. And that's something that you're starting to realize right now, right? And also like taking back control of your own narrative and not falling for the bullshit narrative of the collective, right? Because when it comes down to it, it is you. You are it. It's like you are God. We are all God, right? But like you in your own perfect universe, in your own world, your unique blueprint, your unique fingerprint, right? You are special. And your perception changes everything, literally. Like whenever you decide to focus solely on something, you create it, you make it whole, you make it expand, okay? And so this is a time period really of like, what do you want to really grow? What do you want to see happen in the collective consciousness, right? Because like I said, there's a lot of dark forces out there that are trying to manipulate our consciousness as a collective whole. Like I said, we're one organism, okay? There is something in the shadows that has been for a millennium trying to control the narrative, trying to keep us repeating these historical cycles. Like I said, Pluto and Aquarius, okay? The American and the French Revolution, okay? So we're trying to break away from war. We're trying to break away from the inner war and the outer war, okay? So right now you are currently going through this inner war and you've made a breakthrough, okay? So you're literally on the precipice of this paradise is what I'm hearing. Okay, the worst of it is over and it does feel like a void period. It feels like kind of like this moment of silence is what I'm hearing. So you're saying to honor the silence, honor yourself, witness yourself is what I'm hearing, okay? This is a time to witness yourself because you did it. It was really fucking hard and you fucking came and you did it, okay? Like the universe is really proud of you. Now, we also have love coming through. So like I was saying, you know, we have two choices in life. There's only two choices in life, to fear or to love. And this is showing me, especially with alchemy, you're taking a dark situation and you're transmuting it. You're transmuting it into the highest vibration. And even though it hasn't felt like it, it's felt dark, it's felt heavy. So you're saying that that's how you elevate to the higher vibrations, to the higher frequencies, okay? You have to go through the lower levels in order to get to the higher levels. It's like walking up a staircase, right? You know, and it's going up, 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 and you're getting sore, you're getting tired. Yeah, it's hard, but like eventually you're going to get there with persistence, okay? Because like I said, okay, Saturn energy coming through again. Saturn energy in Pisces. Pisces wants to drift away. It wants to float away in La La Land. I understand. I got a lot of Scorpio placements in my 12th house, but I also have some in my 11th house. So I'm 11th and 12th house Scorpio person. But anyways, like it wants to drift off, right? But with Saturn there, Saturn's like, hey, in order for you to like get to paradise and get to your, you know, I guess your manifestations, I guess you could say, like you have to put in the work. You have to put in the groundwork, okay? And so this is a time period, like I said, of radical acceptance and like brutal honesty of where you are in your life, okay? And so you've made that big jump. Like you've done the hardest part. The hardest part is over, okay? You've gotten through it. And like now is like, Spirit saying like it's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. Yeah, there's going to be some bumps in the road here and there, you know what I'm saying? Because you're kind of like in this new identity, okay? With letting go coming through. We have letting go, which is showing me, like I said, you're letting go of false narratives and old versions of yourself, and also old coping mechanisms, and what makes you comfortable, whether it's, you know, being in a toxic relationship you know is bad for you, but you just stick around because it's like, well, this, you know, it's better than being alone, or, you know, like having like a toxic habit, let's say, of, you know, drinking or something, right? It's like, well, it kind of buffers the blow of, you know, hardship in life and work life balance with, you know, home life, but like at the end of the day, like, is it to your detriment? You know what I'm saying? Is it a crutch? And so, like, you're letting go of the crutch this season. You're finally realizing you didn't even need the crutch. Like, I'm seeing somebody who thinks that they're broken, like, and you felt like you needed the crutch, and then you let the crutch go, and like you realize that you can actually walk without it. Okay, so that's what's happening with the whole collective right now. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, we do have patience coming through. So patience is saying, like, Spirit wants you to know that, like, this new identity that you're stepping into, because you have been reborn. It's like, you know, the baby calf that comes out, it comes out all messy and gunky. Right now, you kind of feel like that. You feel a little bit messy, a little bit gunky, really sober-minded right now. And Spirit's saying, just be patient with yourself, because, like, you know, that was a hard fucking feat, dude. Okay? But you did it. And not a lot of people have the courage to do this. During this time period, there's going to be some people who did not, you know, they did not want to change. They did not want to go ahead and take that leap of faith for themselves, or trust in their own inner strength and resilience to change. And they're going to be reaping some consequences, okay? So you might end up seeing some people, you know, go through situations that could have been avoided, is what I'm hearing, okay? But Spirit's saying, not your circus, not your monkeys, okay? You're not here to play rescue with anybody. You're not here to force people to change or to force your perspective on people. You know what I'm saying? This is a time period to just like listen to yourself, pay attention to the signs, pay attention to, you know, what's trying to be propagated. Just pay attention, okay? This is a time period of discernment, okay? You've already come a long way. Let's not go back. No, let's get it popping. Let's do some tarot. Like I said, this is a different type of reading, okay? I'm not even gonna like have this video monetized, so if you got this far, if you wanna, you know, donate to your girl, I will say this, when you do donate on YouTube on the super things, that's cool, but like YouTube does take like a big old chunk of that. Like I don't even get the whole donation. I'm just saying, so if you want to send me some Cash App, I'm just saying, y'all, I appreciate it. I really do, okay? Now, I want to say, in the dice roll, we have the 4th house. I just used the houses dice instead of the zodiac, but we got the 4th house, okay? The 4th house represents your roots. It represents like where you come from, your ancestry, and also it could be coping mechanisms that you learned based off of like your home life, right? So let's say like if you had parents who were toxic or did certain things, and then like, you know, you kind of project that into your own life with your next partner, for example. Like breaking generational curses is this time period, okay? So right now, you know, I'm hearing you're getting back to the roots, and you're doing these like, I'm also hearing like you're healing for your family. That's what I'm hearing. That's like the big message coming through. Family is very important, okay? I'm hearing the family unit. Okay, like I said, like focusing on what's important, who's important, what truly matters, okay? The people in your life, okay? Getting back to your roots is what I'm hearing here, okay? So tell me more about this energy. But you're also like, you're transcending passed down generational trauma, right? That's what I'm hearing. And like narratives that were passed down to you of like why things are the way that they are, or why we think the way that we think, right? It's like breaking away from the cult narrative, okay? Culture. Oh, hello. We have, okay. Oh, that's beautiful. We have the 9 of Pentacles coming through, and the Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. The Chariot is the card of Cancer, which is ruled by the 4th house, the family, the mother, okay? So I'm hearing mother's nourishment. There's this energy of true abundance that you're walking into with the 9 of Pentacles, okay? The Ace of Swords is talking about this clarity, this revelation. This is what I'm saying, boo. So this message is coming through. Spirit is showing me that you've made it. It's okay. I'm seeing like a metaphor like in the Bible in Exodus, right? You know, they go through the desert for 40 years and finally they make it to the promised land, right? This is where you're at now. It's like you finally made it. And as you reach there, you know what ends up happening is that Moses can't even go into paradise. He dies right before he enters, right? I think it's because he was like disobedient or something. Like he didn't trust God because like he forced a rock to open to like give the people water because they're like dehydrated. I think that's the story. It's been a minute, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. But like Some say it was his disobedience, but I don't know. We don't know. Don't nobody know shit. But the point is that there are certain people like in this journey that have gone with you to get to this point in this like spiritual maturity. You've entered this pinnacle of maturity in yourself. Okay, you are a very old soul, and oh, I'm getting goosebumps, dude. I don't know if you can see that. Hold on. I don't think you can see it on the camera. Anyways, there are things that you finally realize as you hit this moment where you're looking at the promised land. You see it. You finally broke through. You've broken free. Okay, and you turn around and you realize there are certain people. There are certain coping mechanisms, like I said, that aren't going to be able to come with you. That's the clarity that you've had. Okay. And with the Chariot card, the Chariot is all about balance. Like, you're finally coming back into full swing balance. Like this, like I said, this is a time of like sobriety. Like, you've really like looked at your life clearly now, right? All right, tell me more about this energy, Spirit. All I want to say is I'm really proud of you, because not a lot of people are going to get this message. A lot of people, you know, they just want the candy, and I'm over here serving the meat, okay? We have the Ace of Pentacles. Look, dude, Spirit's saying continue to trust yourself, continue to trust the flow, because another thing with the Chariot card, I will say, it represents like, you know, trusting the flow and not being in control all the time, and like trusting in the divine guidance, right? I'm also hearing fate. Okay, so all of these things that happen to you, that's the thing. The pain has a purpose, okay? Without the pain that you went through, the acknowledgement and the agony that you just went through and witnessed, right, within yourself, like without it, you wouldn't be this phoenix. You wouldn't be the fire. Like I said, I am the fire. This is what's happened with you. You know, you finally came into acknowledgement and you became stronger than the vice. You became stronger than the fire that was sent to destroy you. You actually in turn destroyed it. And now, because you have done this, because you finally passed this, yes, it was a test. It was a personal test. One that you placed upon yourself. You placed this burden upon yourself. You picked up your cross. You bared your cross, is what I'm hearing. Okay? And like, you didn't have anyone witness this. This is like a self-witnessing, okay? And I'm hearing Spirit say, because you picked up your cross and you walked forward and, you know, you trusted this process, this painful healing, now you're having clarity. Now there's a brand new opportunity coming through. I want to go ahead and clarify these two aces because, bro, new opportunities, abundance, clarity. I'm hearing your confidence returning. I'm hearing like just restoration every level in your life. And I'm hearing that the setback was actually a setup. That's what I just heard. Oh, boo, I'm preaching today. Okay, y'all already know, if you know me, okay, you know I got that ascendant Sagittarius. I'm gonna get a little preachy, okay? Here are the Ace of Swords. Oh my God. Oh my God. I did it again, so I'm gonna let the beat rock. We got the Ten of Pentacles, clarify the Ace of Swords. This is family legacy, boo. Clarity of who you are, what you come from. Look, it's like the Pharaoh and his wife. You come from like, oh, bro, you're bringing balance, restoration in your family. You don't understand. It's like the weight of the world that was on your shoulders. You broke free. And now you are being witnessed from your ancestors, is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing there's this treasured inheritance that's been passed down to you. It could be literally an inheritance that you're being blessed with because of these trials and tribulations that you overcame. Okay, you're being blessed by your ancestors is what I'm hearing. Okay, so whether it's a home is what I'm hearing, or like you finally like, there's something being passed down to you, okay? Okay, let's clarify this Ace of Pentacles, okay? This Ace of Pentacles. Now, I will say the Chariot is looking over at the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, the Eight of Cups, exactly what I was talking about. And the Six of Pentacles. Yes, okay. So there's this opportunity to keep giving to things that don't serve you, right? Or to walk away because you knew that, you know, you were worth more than this. You know, sometimes we put ourselves in situations because we feel like this is all we deserve on a subconscious level, right? We feel like we don't have the strength to change. We don't have the strength or the willpower to say no or to walk away. And like, this is the thing that you did. You had the willpower to want more for yourself. Like, I'm seeing my mind's eye like on Belle from Beauty and the Beast, where there's that scene after Gaston jumps in and tries to marry her, right? But she doesn't want Gaston. Gaston, you know, he's shallow. He's all about, you know, he's a narcissist, superficial. You know, it's like what the world wants for you versus what do you want for you, right? And so she finally decides, like, oh, is he gone? And then she goes in her little serenade and starts singing. And she goes, you know, I want adventure in the great white somewhere. I wanted more than I can bear. But, like, she's saying, like, she wants more. She wants more than this provincial life. She wants more than to just settle for, you know, less than her spirit. Like, I'm hearing expansion of spirit. Now that you've broken free, now you can go live. Now you can go fly. I'm hearing fly, butterfly. It's time for you to fly. I feel like we need like a moment of silence. Bottom of the deck, we do have the Four of Pentacles and the Fool. The two decisions, okay? And right now, like I said, with the Patience card and letting go, this is not easy. Like I said, whenever it comes to like thinking in a sober manner, it's like the hard decision isn't always going to be the easiest decision. Like okay, hold on, ADHD, hold on. The right decision is not going to be the easiest path sometimes. Sometimes the right decision is the hardest path to choose, okay? And not a lot of people have the courage to do so, but you did. And just be patient with yourself. I say that because we have the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck as well. Nine of Swords is about, you know, like maybe restlessness, insomnia, overthinking, and things like that. You know, sleepless nights and things of that matter. But Spirit's saying, like, you know, you've had these two choices between the Four of Pentacles, which is, you know, that lack mentality, or like feeling like, you know, your dreams won't happen, or like if you did take that leap of faith, like what if you fall? Spirit's saying, what if you don't, with the Fool card? What if everything works out exactly how you want it? What if you get everything that you freaking want, right? What if? That's the question that Spirit's wanting you to ask yourself. What if? What if, right? What if it all works out? What if all of your dreams actually happen because you made the hardest decision of your life? Anyways, so let's go ahead and get some final advice, okay? This, like I said, this is a different type of reading. This is the Phoenix era, so we're going to be getting really nitty-gritty. Not a lot of people are going to be coming with us, okay? So if you're coming on this dark horse journey, if you're a true dark horse and you're still here, comment down below some fire emojis, okay? Fire! Fire! Okay. Beavis and Butthead vibes over here. All right, Spirit, what final advice do you have for the dark horse watching today? The dark horse Phoenix. Insight. Okay, it says bright ideas are coming. You've let something go. And whenever you release, the spiritual law is that something has to come in to replace that, okay? And so as you release, I'm hearing that it's like you're trusting your intuition more. Whenever you take that leap of faith to let go of what doesn't serve you, that's you trusting your own inner guidance. That's you trusting your intuition. Your intuition is given to you to protect you. Like historically, like, you know, our ancestors, you know, they had intuition to keep them safe from danger, right? That's what it's there for. So especially if you've gone through dangerous situations growing up, you definitely probably are very psychic, okay? Because you were, you know, put in situations where you had to survive. So intuition is there to protect you. I just want to say that. But with these new bright ideas that are coming, they're coming in because like you finally allowed space to trust your intuition, to let go of what doesn't serve you. And so now the divine is blessing you with new ideas. Okay, another message coming through with that Ace of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. You're having new ideas and clarity of your path that is going to lead to legacy, wealth, and abundance. Okay, so you're having insight, is what Spirit's saying, on how to make money. How, you know, maybe it was changing your job, right? Finally taking a leap of faith after being in a career that you've been in for a minute that maybe, let's say, provided you security, but your soul was fucking dying, okay? Right, we're walking away from things that are killing our spirit, things that are making us like not ourselves, right? So you're finally having this wake-up call, this realization, right, that like life's too fucking short. All right, and it says an epiphany often arrives when the mind is totally quiet, giving yourself a mental break to open up your imagination and allow brilliant ideas to emerge. That's beautiful. You're having new insights. You're having clarity. Okay, this is a time to trust that clarity. Because a lot of times when we have the clarity, we've taken a leap of faith, and it's like we're in the middle of the desert sometimes, right? And we're like, oh shit, right? Like, because like you're in that liminal space. You're not exactly there. You know it's there. You see it there, but you know it's a miles away. But you're no longer back there on those old attachments. And so it is kind of scary, you know what I'm saying, to be in that middle part, because like you don't have that crutch to lean back on. That's what I'm hearing, okay? So in those moments, it's really important and imperative to replace those crutches with something that's going to be positive to you, whether it's, you know, artwork, music, dancing, joining a class, or getting into a club, going out and mingling, socializing. That's another thing coming through. So with all this Pisces energy, you know, like I said, I got 4,000 Pisces. I completely get it with these Pisces transits. Your girl be wanting to isolate. That's why I ain't been here. I've been trying to, you know, do shadow work, meditate, and things like that. But I had to get on here because the energies of the collective are so fucking intense. Like, it's so intense. So intense, right? And it's just like, ah. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting on here. Like, and here I am. So, timing. Oh my God. It's all perfect timing. Everything's happening exactly how it needs to. Now, it says, wait for the right moment. Timing is important to consider right now. Trust that your instincts and intuition will show you when it is right or wrong to take the right action. So literally, this liminal space, we were saying trust the void. That's what I just heard. Learn how to get comfortable in the uncomfortability. Learn how to accept boredom sometimes, right? Because, you know, a lot of times we want that instant gratification. We want to know exactly like, okay, what's going to happen next? Just because we've been programmed with, you know, phones and social media. Like, for example, did you know that our ancestors had like two night times? Like they had, no, 2 types of sleep. Like they would sleep through the night and then they would wake up at like 2 in the morning. They would like, you know, heat up the fire, make a little meal or have some coffee. And then they would have second sleep. That's what it's called, second sleep. So like there's something about, I'm hearing circadian rhythm. You might be like getting your rhythm back. That's what I'm hearing. You're getting your rhythm back. So trust yourself, even though like it might feel like it's going slow. You know, you trust the magic, you trust the flow, and then all of a sudden you're going to have like weird synchronistic things happen, okay, whenever you just trust and surrender. Okay, that's where the magic is, not when we're trying to like micromanage shit, because we're going to be having, you know, the solar eclipse in Virgo, okay, which is, you know, very like trying to compartmentalize things and stuff like that, but like sometimes things are out of our control. But the thing that we can control is what's going to make us feel grounded. That's what I'm hearing, okay? As you trust this divine timing. Wait for the right moment, okay? One more card. Oh, here it is. What is that? Yes, we have open your heart and desire. Oh my God, bottom of the deck. Choice. What was I saying? Choices. It's a choice to live in fear. It's a choice to live in love. It's a choice to live in addiction. It's a choice to be sober. It's a choice to stay in toxic dynamics with people. It's a choice to be codependent to people, right? It's a choice to be independent. So everything is a choice. You know, your life can change in an instant, is what Spirit's saying. We have open your heart. Your heart is safe. Put down your defenses. Let go of the fear of vulnerability. Open your heart to receive the love of others. Allow yourself to have new experiences. So Spirit wants you to open your heart, get out there, experience the world. Like I said, there's a lot of fear mongering going out right now. And Spirit wants you to smell the flowers regardless. That is the bravest thing that you could do, is to still live boldly, bravely, and to live an inspired life despite the fear that they try to feed us, okay? We have desire. It says, fulfillment is possible. Like I said, what if your dreams happen? What if everything works out beautifully? Despite what the media tries to tell you, or despite, you know, what your family and friends try to, you know, fearmonger into you. And it says, consider what you think you are seeking. Will this fulfill your soul's yearnings or only satisfy a temporary desire? Prioritize what's important in your life, right? So it's discernment of desires. Why do you desire that, right? And is it really going to fulfill your soul, right? That's going to be something only you know, right? So sometimes, you know, we're going after something elusively and we think that's what we want, but we don't really ask ourselves, why do I want that? And is it really going to give me fulfillment? Or is it just going to gratify my physical, you know, human animalistic desire? You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between like physical desire and soul desire, right? And I think this season you're going to be like really witnessing like things that actually fulfill your soul versus like what fulfills your physical. Okay, you're walking away from physical desires and you're going towards soul desires. Okay, so that's the reading I have for you, darling. I know it was different. Okay. And yeah, just like and subscribe if you want to be part of the Dark Horse gang. And yeah, until next time, I send you so much love. And you have a blessed, wonderful day. Ta-ta.